me ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. How's everybody doing? It's Monday, it's the start of a brand new week, and I'm here to conclude the walkthroughs from the decks that were sent, 10 days ago now for Spotlight, which was a week last Saturday that I do with Cheryl from Oneness Emporium. And these two I've decided to do together, and you'll probably see why. These decks are Pastel, Prism Tarot and Kaleidoscopic Tarot, and they're very similar in terms of their design, as you can see all the way around, even with the logos, etc. And the backs, you get 3 cards, you get a book and 78 tarot cards. And this seems to be like a new, perhaps packaging of some low Scarabeo decks, which I'm all for because I really like the 2-part boxes. They are linen as well, and the quality seems to be better. So I thought it might be interesting to take a look and kind of compare the two because they're so similar, particularly with the design. The artworks vary a little bit, although there is some computer kind of, I was going to say interference, that's not the right word, but some computer enhancements, because a lot of these are like vector images, which, as a disclosure, isn't my favourite type of artwork. That and collage, unless it's done really, really well. You know, something like Magical Nature Tarot is a collage deck that you wouldn't even think was a collage deck. It's done so well. So yeah, so I'm going to bring the camera down. We'll take a closer up look at Pastel, Prism and Kaleidoscopic, both by Lo Scarabeo. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you can see the linen effect on these boxes. Really nice. These aren't tight boxes either. They do pull apart quite nicely. You can see the linen finish in the black on the underneath of the lids. Both the same, obviously one in purple, one in orange. You then get the books, and they seem pretty much the same. So you get quite a good part in English, because obviously Lo Scarabeo does multiple languages. So you get 50 pages here and quite a bit of text of upright and reverse. They're calling it straight. Bless them. Straight and reversed. But when it gets to the minors, you just kind of get a short paragraph. So 50 pages with the Pastel Prism. Kaleidoscopic may have been a little bit less. So, oh no, well, 47, so what, 46 pages with the design. So we're talking a couple of pages, if that. Again, a short amount for the minors. And then when we get to the majors, we don't get straight and reversed. You just get some writing about the card. But they are describing the scene. A naked maiden under the sky, quilted with stars, carries her there's a word, isn't it? Amphorae to the spring. I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyway, so that's what you get. Let's take them both out. I love the backs, particularly a Kaleidoscopic. Let me just, I dropped the box on the floor. I could wait till after I finish, but I'll probably wheel over it, knowing me. For this, with Lo Scarabeo, they do tend to be a little bit smaller than your standard tarot. And I use this as a template for every video because most people are familiar with what we'd call the standard tarot size. So Lo Scarabeo are a little bit smaller, not as small as Fournier, but yeah, that's gives you a little bit of an idea. And some people like this card size. I don't mind it. You get some title cards, which is just the same basically as the front of the box. So Pastel Prism Tarot is by Jad Mady, and Kaleidoscopic Tarot is by Madalena Guidoni and Malapula. Don't know if I'm saying that right. These are the backs. I really like these backs on the Pastel Prism. I think it's really nice. And then this is the Kaleidoscopic, which is in keeping really, if you think of a kaleidoscope. I used to love them when I was a kid. So let's make sure we're getting them the right way round. Is that camera good? Yeah, seems to be clear enough. Okay, so let's pop that there. We want to have, we'll have Prismavisions, Pastel Prism on this side. Now what I will say, and we did talk about this in the spotlight, is you might think this artwork is quite familiar, and that's because it is very similar to the Rainbow Tarot, especially with these little rosy cheeks and the particular art style. So yeah, what I would also say is we've got beautiful boxes in terms of hard, sturdy, linen finished boxes. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. Excuse me, let's have a sup of tea. But the cardstock isn't the best. I mean, I've seen a lot worse, but it's not the stiffest or thickest of cardstock. But some people like this. It is very springy. It'll be good for riffle shuffling, etc. But you can see that the deck isn't the thickest, and I think they're pretty much on par with each other. They are. I think it was Cheryl who said actually that when they print thinner cardstock, it's because they're not sure how it will sell, etc., and therefore they don't want to commit too much. They are a different design when it comes to the fonts. As you can see here, this one is completely borderless, which is the I'm getting mixed up as to which is which. This one is the Kaleidoscope Pastel. I know what I can do. I can put a Kaleidoscope there so I don't forget, and then I can put Pastel Tarot there. Because I know what I'm like. I've done these before and I get them all the wrong way around. And as I said, really like these backs. So the colours seem pretty similar. There's lots of pinks, there's lots of purples. The art, the layout of the card is different, as you can see, but we've got our full cards. Now this is very much vector art. And as I said, it's not my favourite style, but some of the cards I actually thought were pretty cool. It's our Magician card. The High Priestess is very weird here. It's kind of like she's split in two. She's very elongated, and but you know what I have found doing walkthroughs is certain decks will speak to certain people, and that's wonderful, because we've all got our own preferred style, tastes. I do like this Hierophant. I mean, it's very Pope John Paul type thing, but I also like this one. Look at the supplicants at the bottom. They're great. Our Lovers. I guess with this being kaleidoscopic, that might be why we've got the weird sort of shapes of people and animals and stuff, because, you know, particularly like that High Priestesses, where she's kind of at the top split in half. As you're turning your kaleidoscope, you do tend to have that. Here's our Strength card. I'm loving the pastel colours of this. I mean, it's called the Pastel Prism, but the pastel colours are really nice. This is a very abstract type of art for the fall. Here's our Hermit. I actually like both of them. I love the colours as well. We've got some lovely deep blues and greens and purples. A Wheel of Fortune. The Justice card. I mean, which one are you preferring? I mean, they're not, yeah, I'm only comparing them. Not that I think the art style is the same in any way. If I was going to do that, I would compare, obviously, Pastel Prism with Rainbow Tarot. But just because they're two low Scarabeo decks that have been released the same time in the same sort of packaging, do love this Death card. I actually think it's wonderful. And this Death card. They're both great. We have Temperance. The Devil is pretty cool. Our Tower cards. Star cards. Our Moon cards. I'm going to stop at the Moon and give an example of what you get in the book. So, in the Kaleidoscopic for the Moon card, we have, if I can get to it, okay, Kaleidoscopic says, Lady of the Night, keeper of the unconscious, guardian of every secret and every dream. The moon represents the dark half of heaven and mind, the place where all certainty falters and where rationality is vanquished. There is something uncomfortable that needs to be confronted, and only by letting it emerge like an underwater creature surfacing at the turn of the tides can you distinguish illusion from truth. What resources can you call upon when logic is not enough? And then in contrast, for the Pastel Prism, and I'll just read the obviously the upright meaning here. So the straight meaning. Intuition, subconscious, shedding light on emotions, visceral connection with someone. The world of emotions is the domain of this card, which invites us to live them fully with awareness by shedding light on them without ever repressing. With other people, it indicates a deep, almost telepathic connection. Let us trust our intuition. It can guide us where logic does not reach. Okay, so two very different, well, not very different, but different ways of interpreting the Moon card. Our Sun cards. I am drawn more, I think, to Pastel Prism. Judgment. But then would I have bought it with having the Rainbow Tarot? The World. Okay. And then for the rest, I'm just going to put some music on and you can have a look. Because I think I've said enough about comparing the two decks. Okay, so Kaleidoscopic Tarot here and Pastel Prism Tarot here. Which do you prefer? Or do you like both? Or do you like none of them? I mean, this isn't a deck duel or anything like that where we're battling them out, but I just thought it was interesting because they were so similar in terms of being released at the same time and the style of the production, etc., that it'd be worth showing them together. Not that I think that they're similar, having seen them. But that said, I think, you know, if I was choosing one between the two, if I went into a shop and I just had the intention of buying one deck and they were both there, I think I would be more inclined to get the Pastel Prism. Even though, I put them on the wrong side, look. Even though, as I said, there's people comparing it with the Rainbow Tarot, and I can see why. And I have that deck anyway, so it kind of scratches that itch. No, not scratches that itch. That itch is already scratched, is what I meant to say. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you, as always, for watching. Thank you, Cheryl, for sending all the decks for March's Spotlight. It's been fun going through these decks. If you're interested in either or both of these decks, then check out the Oneness Emporium by going to the link that's in the description with this video. And as always, if you fancy a 10% discount, then remember to use the code here at the bottom, Hermits10, for 10% off at checkout. All right, everybody, thanks for being here, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.